Okay, so there's a concept here that I really have to address with everybody watching, and that would be teaching and explaining how women plan their exit and how women move on to the next man, okay? And why a lot of times if you're dating a woman, you will even consider this as cheating, but she'll most likely never see it that way because she's operating through her own emotions. Today I'm going to really be showing you how women plan their exit strategy and why they plan this a lot of times months in advance, and even how a lot of times what will happen is she may be lining up backup options along the way, behind your back, or there's men from the past that either it didn't work out for a little bit of time or things fizzled out, but there's always that connection. Okay, this is really important to understand, because what you have to understand is when you're dating a woman today, you essentially are the current representation or the masculine ideal that's in front of her at this time. But in the past, there has been other masculine ideals or masculine presence that has been in her life that has potentially impacted her a certain way. Therefore, she views things differently. So why women exit, how women exit, why the relationship a lot of times is purely just her emotional security or her emotional safety. I'm going to be explaining all of this to you, okay? What will typically happen in the beginning when you start dating a woman is she's going to get a test of your value. So the more she dates you, okay, the longer she dates you, she's seeing essentially how much value you bring to the table. And by default, she's able to extract some of that value just by being associated with you. If you have a cool life, she gets to be part of a cool life. Now, there's other forms of value. Maybe she feels safe around you. Maybe she feels like you have a calming presence. Maybe she feels like you're the man of her dreams. Whatever the case may be. These emotions that she feels is largely rooted in words, okay? And these emotions can change at any time. So this is what you have to understand if you're dating a woman is, if any of you have had past girlfriends, past relationships, if any of you have been married before, you will have a woman who will swear up and down how much she loves you in the beginning, say how much she could want to be with you forever, say everything to you that would signal that this woman is fully committed to me. And then there's a switch. You'll actually watch that switch. Maybe all of a sudden the couple starts disagreeing or arguing about certain things, or maybe the conversation even went too logical. This is a huge mistake a lot of men will make in relationships is once you get comfortable with the woman, instead of keeping the dynamic centered in not even necessarily a flirtatious vibe, but just the right type of sentences and conversation where she's happy and excited and bubbly, that takes work. Okay, that takes work as a man, and you know what I'm talking about. Anybody watching this, do not act like you don't know what I'm talking about. You know that you have to use energy and emphasis and effort to create the right vibe and dynamic so there's that happy, healthy, cohesive vibe. The second you enter into that fully male state where you're completely logical or completely rational, women just don't like it. You will notice this the more you date. Women, by default, naturally are just turned off by how a man thinks and actually speaks and operates. Women just don't like it. It makes them feel bad, or they'll say that it's too harsh, or they'll say that despite it being true, it makes them feel bad, so they don't want to hear it. And women will gravitate their whole life towards men who give them soft words and soft feelings and create this illusion or this dynamic that the whole world is sunshine and puppy dogs and chocolate chip kisses and cookies and candy is the vibe or the presence that's created, okay? The longer you're in a relationship or the longer you date a woman for, you run risk of not being able to keep that up all the time. Okay, think about it. When you first go on a date with a woman, you're in that state, you're bringing that right energy, you hold that together for 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours. Later on down the road, maybe you see her once a week, you're still pretty good at it. But when you start dating for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, however long, the more she sees you, the more you're going to run risk of demonstrating certain thoughts, beliefs, characteristics that give her a different feeling than you gave in the beginning. Now, when that feeling is altered, slowly, 1% at a time, she starts to lose faith or lose trust in your character. Even though you're the same man, she starts to view you differently. Okay, now as she views you differently, eventually you're going to notice a switch. And you're going to literally be looking into her eyes, and you will just see that she feels absolutely nothing for you. She might even start altering her character a little bit and saying things to you like, why do you got to be like that? Why do you have to act that way? I just don't want to talk right now. You're going to notice little things, okay? And then one day what will happen is there's a complete switch. And when that complete switch has happened, where she feels nothing towards you, she won't kiss you, she won't hug you, she definitely doesn't want to be romantic in bed with you. It's completely gone, it's completely over. What has now happened is there has been a prolonged period of probably a couple months or a few months where her heart and her mind and her emotional investment is now centered on a different man. That's what's happened. Her heart, her mind, her emotions are now centered on a different man. This happened without you even seeing it, and this happened without you even being aware, because she has got a sense, or she has gotten a read, that the amount of value that you've brought to the table, okay, this is all it's probably going to be. And she's got used to you, she's became bored of you, and you are now routine. So this is what you have to remember is, through that prolonged period, there was probably things going on in the background that you never saw. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. Now, as she was slowly losing interest in you, okay, in the back of her mind, she knows what options she has. She knows if you're the best she'll ever be able to do. She knows if she can replace you, okay? She knows her level of emotional certainty in you, and she also knows your desire level for her. She knows every single guy that's ever hit on her when she was at the gym. She knows every single guy that's ever asked for her phone number that maybe she texted once or twice but then ghosted. She knows every single guy on social media who's tried to direct message her. She knows every single guy that was a backup option on a dating app. She knows every single guy that has messaged her and she's just keeping him around or on the back burner. She has every single guy that she's ever had access to right at the touch of her fingertips on her cell phone. And when her emotions no longer work in your favor, her emotions now work in the favor of her cell phone. If you ever see how a woman acts and operates for a few minutes at a time when she's all by herself, you'll watch her entire mind get completely absorbed into the cell phone. And she's just staring at it, and there's all these images. It could be social media clips going back and forth. It could be, what her girlfriends are telling her about, this important event regarding some type of movie or what happened to some type of celebrity. This mind just goes right into that world of emotion. It's almost like a fantasy land. So when she starts to lose faith, or she starts to lose trust that this relationship that she's in, okay, is going to go the distance how she would like it to go, she's going to start to line up options behind your back, and to her it's not going to feel like cheating, because a woman's emotions goes towards how she feels, okay? And because she doesn't feel fully engaged with you, even though on paper or through words you guys are still boyfriend and girlfriend, even though on paper maybe you two are still married, she's not married to you anymore in her heart. And once she's not married to you in her heart, or once she's not in love with you anymore in her heart gravitates towards a different man. Doesn't matter what anybody tells her. It doesn't matter what the relationship title is. Oh, we're in a relationship. Oh, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Oh, we're married. Once she's not married to you or in a relationship with you in her mind and in her spirit, it's over. It's over, because she follows her emotions. There's nothing you can do to get out of that. Now, here's the difference between a man and a woman. When a man is in that state where things might be going south, if he loves that woman, he will spend time nurturing the relationship to make it work. And oftentimes he'll do this by using logic, which is why it fails even more. He'll do it by using logic. He'll sit there by her and he'll say, we've been together for so long, I don't think we should split up. We already have 2 years of history together. I love you more than anything. We've gotten through other hard times. We'll make it work. But if you notice, what he's doing the entire time is giving reassurance, and using a lot of logic to justify how things were in the past, to try to prove to her that the future will be good. he is completely operating in the wrong sentences. The sentences he's not using is emotion. Because of that, what you're going to notice happens every single time is the more effort you give to that situation, the less she likes you even more. And this is where you'll see husbands, boyfriends spin circles of sentences over and over, trying to prove to her, trying to get the right concepts through to her mind to prove his love and to prove his loyalty. And this is why it doesn't work. You're going to see a lot of guys say things like this: if I could just get through to her, if I could just finally get her to see things the way that I do. You can't, because you're attempting to use logic. Her spirit in that relationship is fueled by emotion. So what am I getting at? Here's what I'm getting at, okay? When the relationship goes downhill, she starts to explore her options digitally. So she knows which guy texted her, she knows which guy tried to call her that she ghosted. You'll even see this if you're a man, entering your 30s, 40s, 50s. You're going to see this all the time. Maybe there's even women where, let's say you had a date or two with them or things didn't work out. You're going to even notice this as a guy. A couple months later, you might get a random text message from a woman you saw a long time ago. And you're wondering how that's happening or why that's happening at that time right now. And it's because where she's at with that current guy, she no longer sees a future with. The woman that you're dating or that you're in a relationship with, what am I getting at? There's these backup options. Through the period of weeks and months, what happens is she slowly starts to plan which guy is next in line. And as she plans which guy is next in line, she's going to be having soft conversation with him in the beginning. Soft conversation is just like, how have you been? Maybe sending him a video from social media through direct message to try to see if that guy will laugh or will engage back or say, oh my gosh, LOL, that's so funny. It's going to be soft conversation. Send him a social media direct message. Send him a video off the internet to see if he'll laugh. Send him this or that. Soft conversation. Well, soft conversation slowly turns into conversation that is a bit more man to woman. And now all of a sudden, maybe they're exchanging pictures back and forth, or all of a sudden, since they're exchanging pictures back and forth, all of a sudden, you notice she gives you less attention. But since she's still not fully in a relationship with him, maybe there's periods of time or there's periods of silence, 8 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours, that time goes by where they're not talking. Well, all of that time that goes by while they're not talking, her emotions are working in his favor because there's that space, there's that distance, there's that separation. It's new. There's that mystery. There's that intrigue. There's that wondering what's going to happen next. And you're left in the back burner even though you're right there beside her trying to still nurture that relationship. So this is how, once the relationship finally breaks apart, okay, and you notice she moved on quickly, this move on was planned months in advance a lot of times. And what you have to understand is this too. If you were to look back at her cell phone history towards the end of that relationship, which you're never going to get to because obviously it's her cell phone. If you were to look at that cell phone history, what you're going to see and what you're going to notice, if you were to see it, would probably make you sick to your stomach. You would be sitting there looking at messages saying, how could she send him that message, 4 months previous? Like, let's say you broke up and it's finally over. You could go back in time maybe 3 months, 4 months, and she's already sending messages to different guys if you were to see this. So what you have to understand is a lot of times when women cheat, it's planned. Even a lot of times if a woman is with a guy, she knows the run rate of that relationship from day one when it starts. Day one when that relationship starts, she knows what she's going to get from him. She knows if this is a guy she met at a club that she wants to just be with or sleep with for the next 3 to 6 months. She knows if this is a guy for the long term that maybe she wants 1 or 2 kids with, and then she'll probably get bored. She knows this. She knows where she's at. Just like you've been a man your whole life, she understands female nature, and she understands where she's at. And she's had the same thought processes year over year, and she knows where she's at. And then when you're done completely. So as a man, you're going to notice this. It's a cold world. Women don't care about you. And I'm not here to even come at this from like a bitter perspective. I have a great dating life. Okay? I'm not a male model by any means, but I'm okay looking. Okay, I have a pretty good body from spending 11 years in the gym. I have more than enough friends. I have a great dating life. I've had women in my life for the past 11 years at all times, pretty much. I've had a girlfriend or someone that I'm with or someone that I'm seeing. I've never had to go through these long dry spells or anything like that because I've spent a lot of time learning this and I've been teaching this. So I'm not coming at this from a standpoint saying that I'm bitter or anything like that. I'm purely telling you the facts because this channel, for example, has had millions of views. Right now inside my community, it's called Headman Nation, where I help them learn, understand, and master the language of women. We have over 2,000 guys inside of there. I have seen all of this my whole life. So I know exactly how everything works. That's why I'm just telling you the facts. And I'm not saying this from a standpoint where I'm bitter or jaded at all. Because I have a great dating life and I've been with amazing, beautiful women over the years that I've had the opportunity to date, and it's been amazing. Some of the experiences that I've had, I would have never in a million years thought I would get to do that or be with, a woman that beautiful when I was let's say a young kid, 16, 17 years old. Never would have I ever thought that one day when I'm a grown man, I'd have such an amazing dating life. Never. But I'm telling you this because you have to understand this is how the cheating occurs. This is how women line up your replacement option. This is why you're going to notice small, subtle shifts in energy and a small, subtle pullback. And eventually the whole thing blows up to where you're going to be staring at her in her eyes and you will just see that she sees absolutely nothing in you anymore. It's completely gone. The woman who once wanted to tear your clothes off and start making out with you every 2 seconds looks at you as if she can't even believe that she was with you, to the point where she has like a 2 out of 10 interest in you. And you're going to sit there scratching your head going, holy moly, I'm the same guy. I talk the same, I walk the same, I look the same. Am I really that different? Am I really that unattractive to her? And you have to understand, her emotions just no longer work in your favor. That's how the replacement options go. A lot of times what you're going to notice too is, even though these seeds were planted months before the breakup happened, if you ask a woman to her face and you were to say, did you ever cheat? She'll say no. She'll say no because in her heart of hearts, she was just slowly moving on or monkey branching to the next guy. She was slowly getting ready to detach herself from that relationship emotionally. And she had to give herself the pep talk every single day. Girl, you can leave him. Girl, you're going to be strong. Girl, you can do it. Girl, you don't need him no more. Girl, you got this. Girl, I know it's going to be tough. I know you've been in this relationship 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, but girl, you can do it. You can do it. Just get ready. You'll have your friends. You'll have your family by you. You'll be fine. You'll get back in the gym. You'll do it, girl. Come on. This is the thoughts that go through her mind. Always be aware of this. I am telling you this because I have dedicated years of doing this. I believe I'm the best at teaching this because I don't know anybody else really who just spends all of their time building these types of videos, but I do. So because of that, hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.